Hey, this is Dr. Morgan. I did a Google search for irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. And Google's going to always give the answer of who has the most expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So it's always the major medical institutions. So the top page is going to kind of give us an idea of the standard of care in medicine. And we're going to compare it with other things that you may want to be aware of. So, constipation, diarrhea, or mix, that's just the different types of IBS. They talk about ruling out serious health problems, which I'm in agreement with. But right here, when they get to treatment, well, their first line is focus on relieving symptoms. And I think this is the major problem in our healthcare model, is we can't focus on relieving symptoms. We've got to find the causes. So, then they talk about avoiding trigger foods, increase fiber, fluid intake, exercise and sleep, avoid gluten. They talk about the FODMAP diet, which is a special diet to help with the good bacteria in your digestive tract, in your small intestine. And so these things are actually really good, but there's just a bit more to the story. And instead of telling you the rest of the story and why those are so important, they go on to talk about other methods of symptom relief. Fiber medications, laxatives, SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That has an effect on getting the bowels moving. Tricyclic antidepressants, antidiarrheal, anticholinergic medications, again, those are just the opposite. They're going to slow your bowels down. Then they talk about pain medications, because if you have this problem, you can have severe pain and cramping in your digestive tract. And then there's 5 different medications for the serious problems. They do mention future treatment of fecal matter transplant, where they talk that you basically take fecal matter from a healthy person and implant it into your body to improve your microbiome. So my problem is, shouldn't we be able to improve our microbiome on our own? So we want to take a systems approach instead of a symptoms approach. So the small intestine can have dysbiosis, an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria in your digestive tract. You can have fungal infection, all these different things. The FODMAP diet works, but only in conjunction, at least what I've found, mostly in conjunction with taking herbs that are antibacterial in nature, antifungals, and it may take some work to clear that out, but that's going to get to the root causes of IBS. This is the ileocecal valve. That's the valve between the small intestine and the large intestine. If it happens to sense fat, the undigested fat in the small intestine, it's going to close off. It's called the ileal brake. And it won't let things move through until that fat is digested. So then that leads us to the gallbladder. The gallbladder is responsible for releasing bile and breaking down the fats. If it's under stress and can't do that, then we've got to figure out what's going on there. The gallbladder is also under control of the thyroid. If your thyroid wants to slow down your metabolism, then it will decrease the amount of bile released into the small intestine, and everything slows down. The ileocecal valve can also sense when it needs to open up. So if you eat a food that your stomach reacts to, there's the gastrocolic reflex. So it will instantly, this would be when you get diarrhea just very soon after you eat. Everything opens up and moves through. A lot of that is under control of the vagus nerve, or just the nervous system in general. If your nervous system's under stress, you go into fight or flight. Some people, it's a simple thing, like if their teeth don't quite touch together the right way. Some people, it's no big deal. Other people, their body goes into fight or flight. And so if you've had a concussion or a neck injury, sometimes that's enough to mess up your entire digestive tract, because it's messing up your sympathetic parasympathetic balance. The last thing I'll talk about is serotonin, because they talk about SSRIs. Well, shouldn't we just be able to make the right amount of serotonin? Sometimes that's dependent on estrogen and progesterone, even testosterone levels have this huge impact on serotonin. And serotonin has an impact on motility in the digestive tract. The thing is, again, we've got to stop focusing on symptoms and focus on systems. Thank you.